girl, welcome to the Win a Pageant podcast. I'm your coach, Alycia Darby, and today we're talking with Maureen Francisco. And this chick, I'm so excited to introduce you guys to her. So, Maureen is the co-executive producer of Pageants Northwest, short is Pageants NW, which produces state qualifiers for Miss USA and Miss Teen USA. So she's going to give us a good look behind the scenes today. And she covers the states including Idaho, Montana, Oregon, and Washington. And what's so cool is that coming up later this month, she is actually organizing a confidence building workshop that you can attend. And she's bringing in like the best of the best in pageantry in all areas of competition so that she can help you get a leg up. So we're going to talk a lot more about that. That's called Beauty Brand Believe Expo. So we're going to talk with her about that. This woman has done everything from, listen to what she's done. She's a published author for a book that's called It Takes Moxie. I just love that title. It's all about just pursuing and achieving the American dream. So that's super exciting. And she's been on a game show, and she's done reality TV, and she's been a TV news reporter. And her favorite role, she says, is to be the mom of her 2-year-old son. So awesome to have you on the show. Welcome, Maureen, to Win a Pageant. Thanks for being here.
Hi, Alycia. Thank you so much for having me. It's such an honor to be part of your podcast.
Oh, I'm thrilled to have you here. So I want to just start with understanding a little bit about how you got started in the Miss USA organization.
So honestly, I married into it.
Oh,
yes.
This is going to be a good story.
Exactly. So I was married at the time for about several months, and I was working at a startup company in Seattle. And then one day, my husband calls me and said, Maureen, Miss MUO is asking if we are interested in taking on the Montana pageant. Now, either we hire somebody just like you, or you do this with me. And he goes, I need you to make a decision right now. And this is on the phone. I'm here at work, and I'm like, David, really? Can we talk about this? He goes, no, I need a decision. Wow. So I took that leap of faith and started working with him. Wow. And now I'm one of the co-executive producers. And I don't recommend working with your husband unless you have great communication skills and you have a great sense of humor, because you need a lot of humor in the new role that you're playing. But I love it. I've enjoyed every minute of it.
Wow, what a great. So how long ago was that?
That was back in 2013. So I started helping out in 2012 while I was still working at a startup company, and we got married in 2012. And it was, I remember April of 2013 when he made that call. So since then, we not only took over Montana, but Oregon as well. So we have Idaho, Montana, Oregon, and Washington now.
Wow, how exciting.
Yes.
Gosh, that must keep you extremely busy. That's a year-round thing.
It is. You don't take a break at all. I mean, I'm trying to rest on the Sabbath, right, on Sunday. But honestly, the emails come. Emails come all the time. I feel like we're Amazon. When you email Amazon, you don't want to wait a week for a response. You want that response right now. So I'm constantly emailing. I constantly have my phone with me. So there's the good and there's the bad. The good is I'm on top of things. The bad is I need to sometimes just let it go, like walk away and just really enjoy my family.
Yes. Yeah, that's good. You're right. It's important to have that balance. And also for the title holders too, because that's a busy year for a title holder. Just go, go, go. I mean, a lot of people think pageant season is just like when the pageant's happening, but really it's like nonstop year round. So I'm curious. I want to know your opinion, because I'm sure that you've worked with all types over the last several years. So what do you find that makes a title holder just really easy and simple? Like, who's your ideal candidate that would actually win your pageant?
So this is what I pray. I say, God, I pray for a title holder who is professional, who understands this is more than about her. It is about being a voice for all of the other contestants, the state, somebody who is not entitled, somebody who really appreciates this amazing opportunity and enjoys working with our sponsors, somebody who is nice, and somebody who is mentally, emotionally, and physically ready to do this. Sometimes I'll work with people whose emotions are like this. They're high, they're low, they're high, they're low, and it's and it's difficult to maneuver through that because you don't know how they're going to react. And fortunately, I've been blessed to have amazing title holders since I've stepped on board. But there are, and I'm not telling you what years or anything, but there are some that aren't ready, but they got that opportunity.
Right.
Yes.
So how much actual influence does the director of the pageant have on who wins?
Zero. Absolutely nothing. Nothing at all. Okay. In fact, we are running around. So David, my husband, who's also the co-executive producer, he is working on the lights. He is on the front stage of the audience, and he's actually has his hands on the lights. He's managing all the lights. I myself am running around. Sometimes I'm the usher. Sometimes I'm dealing with security. Sometimes I'm dealing with issues regarding food. I remember this. One pageant, this was in Idaho. For some reason, we couldn't find someone to run the spotlight. I was 8 months pregnant, wearing 4-inch high heels, and I was like, you know what? We need a spotlight on those women. So I run, and I am running the spotlight. And then right after,
you're like,
after
this is happening.
And if people saw what I was doing backstage, running the spotlight, they would be like, "What are you doing? You're pregnant.
Yeah,
the spotlight. You should be doing other things." But that's what you need to do. So you have to roll up your sleeves, and wherever you need to be, you're going to be there. And then on top of that, I also the MC for the final show. I co-MC the final show because I know everything that's going on. So I'm constantly running around.
Yeah. Wow. So you're not even probably doing a whole lot of paying attention during the pageant to how each individual girl is doing. You're really just like at the end, okay, who'd you give me? Who's my winner?
I really don't know. Once I get that envelope, that is when I find out. But I'm like right there with the rest of the audience going, who is it going to be? I'm not, my nerves are just all over the place. Even though I seem calm on stage, I am just like, oh my gosh, I'm so nervous and excited and just mixed emotions throughout that whole weekend. The same feelings that these women are experiencing.
Yes, absolutely. But you do a lot to prepare your contestants. I've worked with several contestants in your pageants, and I know that you put a lot of effort to get them to really be pageant ready, to be ready for the stage, to be ready for the title. Tell me a little bit about some of the elements that you do to make sure your contestants are ready.
One of the things I really think is important is really putting them out there and having media interviews. They need to be able to think quickly on their feet. So every one of our contestants, state title holders rather, 8 of them have been interviewed on television. And that is something that I really make sure that we have a big emphasis on, is getting them on TV, getting them to do radio interviews, newspaper interviews. I also want them to be involved in their schools or community, again, putting themselves out there and talking about their platform. Because to the public, they think, oh, it's a bunch of gals in hairspray, right?
Right,
and
yes.
A fancy crown, wearing high heels. And I want to show the rest of the community that these women have depth. They've really thought long and hard what their platform is going to be. And now that they have that spotlight on them, this is their opportunity to really educate people about certain issues that they're passionate about. So TV interviews. Another thing that I really want them to be prepared with is being emotionally ready for this. So we actually will talk to them and say, there are, again, in this journey, highs and lows. All of a sudden there's people who are going to love you, and then you're going to have people who don't like you. You have to ignore that. You have to somehow block those haters because people automatically, as soon as you're crowned, they're going to rip you apart. They're going to go, what are the judges thinking? Why did they choose her? And I've seen some of our title holders go, oh my gosh, people are just so mean. And I go, you know what? You say on your path, you say on your course, there's a reason why the judges chose you, and never doubt yourself. And of course, we have amazing sponsors. I mean, we have Quincy Alexander, who knows how to really work with the women to have a rockin' Miss USA body and really loving their body. We have an amazing gown sponsor, Bridal Elegance. So we have amazing, amazing sponsors.
Yeah. And some of these people are going to be at the Expo, right? So tell us a little bit about that. What's coming up at the Beauty Brand Believe Expo?
So that's going to take place on March 25th in Bellingham, Washington. We have people flying from all over the country to come to this event. We have Luciera, who is the Miss Universe Runway coach. She is going to be having private appointments in addition to speaking about the walk. A lot of people think you get up on that stage and you just walk. No, there's an actual and also an emotional element behind it. You have to have that right attitude, like, I own the stage, okay? This is my moment. So and again, some people just think I'm just walking. And there's also that performance element. We also have Allison Rowe, who's our former Miss Washington USA 2014, and she's going to talk about confidence. And she's going to do it with a Christian perspective. And we want,
like that.
And we want women to understand that they do not have to compromise themselves at all to win the state title, and also to do pageants. If there's something that doesn't feel right, you don't have to do it. You need to know what your values are, so that way you don't lower those values. We have Jonathan Carter, who will be shooting headshots, and he was last year's Miss USA principal photographer. We also have
amazing shots. I love his work. Oh.
Yes. So natural, and then you have that glamour on top of that. And then we have a panel where we're going to talk about what are the judges really thinking.
And that is like the $1 million question. Yes. People ask that all the time. Like, what really are they thinking? Because it is stressful when you show up and you're kind of like, and of course, sometimes in your back of your mind, all the nasty voices come up that tell you why you can't, and for whatever reason, they surface right when a judge like has an itch in their eye or has like a twitch or something. You're like, what are they thinking? What are they, and it's like all about me,
Yes.
So that's fun. Good. I can't wait for that panel.
Exactly. This is an opportunity for the women to ask, okay, what are you really thinking? Do you like, long hair, short hair? Honestly, they don't care about that, okay? But a lot of the women will change their hair color thinking that's what the judges like. And I think to myself, you're not ready to win if that is the way that you're thinking, Yes.
Wow. I love that. Maureen, say that again, because you just gave away a piece of gold right there in what you just described. Because you're right, that's definitely a mindset. And in the way that we, the Bible, so there's a concept in the Bible that says to take your thoughts captive and then bring them to the Lord, right? So you're supposed to, when you say things like that in your head, oh, I should change anything, fill in the blank. And then take that thought and really be like, okay, now let's really think about this. So say that again, what you just described.
Yeah, so if you're so focused about your hair color or whether to have long hair or short hair, frankly, you're just not ready to win, because that's not what the focus should be. It should be what's in here, the heart. And sometimes it's really hard to convey that message to a young woman, because they will look at what they see on television, in the media, and they go, okay, that is my idea of what beauty looks like. And the whole Miss Universe organization brand is about being confidently beautiful, being confident in your own skin. When I talk to these contestants, because every contestant who we allow to compete in our pageant, I personally have talked to them. I actually screen them. So one of the questions I will ask them is, what is your biggest weakness? Okay. And if they tell me I have anger issues, I will tell them you are not ready to compete in this.
Wait, have you had that happen?
Yes. I had a young woman who told me I have severe anger issues if I don't get my way. And I told her, I said, I said, I'm so sorry, but you're just not ready, because what happens if you don't win? I do not want you to throw a tantrum, because the likelihood of you winning is very, very slim. I'm being honest. I said, there's so many amazing women walking on that stage and only one walks away with the crown. So you're not ready yet.
Right.
I had another gal who dropped out of high school, and I told her, you need to get your GED first. Once you get your GED, let's bring you back, apply again. So I want to make sure that these women are mentally and emotionally ready to do this. Now, if somebody told me, you know what, Maureen, I'm not very good when it comes to public speaking, or I need to work on my confidence, I tell them, you're at the right place then, because this is going to be a journey. I was in someone's shoes many, many years ago when I competed in my first pageant. I was 17 years old. That was 5 years ago.
That's great.
20 years ago. And and I was shy. I was once, shy. So I know how these young women are feeling. They're scared. They have so much doubts in their heads. And I want to tell them, the biggest doubt that you're going to have actually doesn't come from your environment. It comes from you. You're going to be the person that's going to stop you from doing magnificent things in this world. So I just want to really convey that to every contestant. Now, every contestant does not go on and compete, because they're still working on some personal issues. But when I talk to a contestant, I want them to walk away feeling like, gosh, I just was so empowered. And if I don't do the pageant, that's fine. But at least Maureen said some words of wisdom that may turn my life around.
That's beautiful. Yeah, I love that. And everything that you're describing is 100% up the alley with what I believe and what I'm preaching all the time, is that this life is a journey, and pageantries are going to be an element, like a little blip on that journey for most women. And there's such a golden opportunity to take advice. And if my motto is, if it applies, modify. If not, let it fly. And so if women are able to, take their thoughts captive and say, okay, does this apply? Is this some advice that I could really use? And maybe I really am not ready. And then, okay, use that. Get the GED, or get your act together with anger. Learn how to manage your emotions better and your emotional intelligence. Then come back. You'll be that much stronger, because you've overcome something magnificent that many women do have to overcome in their lives.
Yes.
So that's exciting.
And I want these women to understand, everybody goes through trials in life. You're not alone. And what a lot of people don't know until I share with them is that I once lived in a house in the Philippines. I can still remember it so vividly, where I shared it with 15 family members, and there was only one bathroom. I came from super humble beginnings. And I want to tell these young women, you're living right now in the greatest country, which is America, and the opportunities for women here are amazing. Go after your dreams. Don't let anyone or you limit what you can do. And again, I'm in a position where I get to breathe words of wisdom into these women, and I don't take it for granted.
That's wonderful. Yeah. You're a wonderful director. I wish everyone was exactly like you. That's beautiful. Yeah. So I want to ask you this. So you've been around now the Miss USA and the universe system for long enough to probably see patterns at the higher and higher levels. So let's take Miss USA, for example. What are some of the characteristics or patterns that you notice about the women that are competing at the very top of their A game in the national pageant, the USA, or even the universe pageant?
I see a level of confidence that is through the roof. They walk in and they own the joint, okay? I mean, they are just so confident. And it's not arrogance, because I have seen arrogance, but there's this confidence where you're like, whatever she has, I want to have it too. So again, it's that confidence, is owning your body, like being really proud of your body. What people don't realize, this is a sport.
Yes.
Yes. This is like going to the Olympics. The level of competition with these women is up there.
Yes.
State is one thing. at nationals, these women are doing amazing things already. They are news anchors. They are models. They are working their ways to be an attorney. They're already in their chosen profession, whether as a nurse or working their way to become a doctor. So they're in a very different mindset and field. They believe they are Miss USA. Okay,
Yeah.
it's that attitude, and that is one of the things I hope to convey to our title holders. Is while there's the focus, on the gown and having, an amazing body, but there's also, you can't forget that element of confidence. When you go to Miss USA and you start comparing yourself to other women, you've immediately lost already, because sometimes. We've had title holders who'll call us and start bawling, going, "Oh my gosh, I didn't know it was this competitive. I'm not ready. I'm not swimsuit ready." And we tell the women, when you get to Miss USA or Miss Teen USA, you should not be comparing yourself to anyone. You should be just focused on yourself, and that's when you have a great shot at this.
Oh, I love that. And that ties back to what you were saying earlier, that sometimes, actually all the time, the things that limit us are our own doubts in our minds. So if you show up to pageant week and you're telling yourself all these, well, I like that girl's hair, and her shoes are so much cuter, and she said it the right way, what was I thinking? And we beat ourselves up in just comparison alone. That's like the worst thing about being a woman. I feel like that's so easy to do. And we're visual creatures, so we look around, and it's so much easier to look around and notice what everyone else has going for them versus look in the mirror and say, this is what I have going for me, and it's going to change these lives of people around me.
Exactly. And I didn't even know until I entered this pageant industry 24/7 that I was short. Okay. I'm barely 5 feet tall. I'm barely 5 feet tall. And I didn't realize that I was short when I was, until I was interviewing these contestants, and they would tell me, I don't know if I want to compete because I'm only 5'6". And I'm like, what? You're only 5'6"? I'm barely 5 feet, but that doesn't stop me from doing what I want to do in life. So again, it gives them a different perspective, like, oh, I had no idea that Maureen is not even 5 feet tall, So So again, it's the mind frame that I want these women to understand. You're the one who's putting the limits on yourself.
Yes, yeah, I love this. Oh, you're giving some gold here, Maureen. Thank you for that. So, okay, I want to get a little bit of an understanding and I'm giggling because in pageantry, when you've seen pageant after pageant after pageant after pageant after pageant, there tend to be patterns of women who are just doing something, and you're just like, palm to the forehead. What is this girl thinking? If you could tell those women, hey, here's what you've got to do.
Okay.
Like, by all means, please what would you tell them to do?
Don't do this kissy face on stage. You know what I'm talking about? I can't even do it. It's like,
They do that on
yes,
stage?
and I'm trying to do it right now, but I don't even know how to do it.
I have to look at the monitor.
It's
Wait, do it again.
It's like, they look angry.
Like the pouts.
Yes. And I don't know why they're doing that. And I will be on stage while I'm emceeing, and I'm going, why is she doing that kissy face? Because she looks angry, but she thinks she looks sexy, But instead, I'm already thinking, oh man, she has no idea that she's making everybody uncomfortable.
Yes, yeah. And then you understanding of like, okay, there's no self-awareness.
Yes.
If she's doing that, like, you're thinking like, oh wow, so she can't even realize what impact she's really having on other people. So how is she going to be as a title holder with that one limitation? Yeah. Okay, good one. So ladies, no kissy faces. No kissy faces on stage, okay? Good one. Great, good. So
also watch yourself on video. So a lot of these women come year after year, and I'll ask them, have you ever watched yourself on video? And they'll tell me, no, I've never seen myself on video. And I go, you need to watch yourself on video so you see what the judges are seeing. Again, this is a sport. A lot of athletes will watch themselves on video of how they performed because they want to know, like, what did I do to perform at this certain level? So again, watch yourself on video. Another thing that I see is women who don't walk with their back straight. Okay. I see a lot
Oh,
of body
yes.
language. Their shoulders are
Yes.
down.
Yeah.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
It's this like forward head posture thing. Yeah. So you want them to be stand up
That's
tall.
it.
Like, yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
another thing that I see. And then they forget that there's a performance level. You know, you're actually
Mm,
performing also on stage. Again, it's not just about walking, going to your mark, but being in the
right.
moment and performing. And one of the uh, title holders that I really enjoy watching with that performance factor is Miss Oregon USA Elizabeth Denny. I can tell she has a dance background. The way that
Mm-hmm.
she, tilts her head or looks into the audience, the way she even flirts with the sarong, she is performing,
Oh, yes.
and
Yes.
I really noticed her when I was watching the Miss Oregon USA video. Again, I don't get a chance to watch these things
Right.
while I'm emceeing because I'm doing so many things. But when I was watching that, I was like, oh, wow. I'm drawn into her about her little things that she's doing. There's that performance factor.
So great. Yeah. Yeah, that really is huge. I like what you mentioned too, that a lot of dancers, they do have that stage presence that many others don't. So for ladies listening, if you're like, okay, what's one thing I can do? Maybe take a dance
Yes.
class, because that just alone will give you that the perception of, the audience is not just right here. They're so much deeper than that. And as a dancer, you learn those types of things and angles that work and all of that. I was a dancer too. Maureen, were you a dancer?
I attempted to be a dancer, okay? I
Oh,
want to say
really?
attempted because I thought I could do hip hop until I met our
Oh,
choreographer, May and Louie. And when I watched them do
yeah.
hip hop, I was like, okay, I will not tell
Yeah.
anyone I know how to do hip hop after I saw that. So
Oh,
I said
that's cute.
attempted. Yes.
Yes. Oh, that's great. Good. But you still pick up stuff.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, that's so great. Good, good. Oh, I love it. So Luciera is going to be the one that's teaching walking concepts. So I imagine that she will touch on that performance aspect. So how can women attend the expo at the end of the month?
So go
Give me the
our
process.
website, which is beautybrandbelieve.com. I want to make sure that I have it right.
Okay, yeah. You're like,
Beautybrandbelieve.com.
okay, great.
And there is a place where you can purchase tickets.
Nice, good. And is this the second time that the expo?
Yeah.
Is this like okay, great, good. So it's going to be better than ever?
Exactly. I mean, last year we had about 200 people there throughout the event. Some people were taking private appointments. Some were listening to the speakers. But yeah, we had a lot of people. And again, all pageant systems are invited to this because in life, it's all about networking. And and I'm not going to alienate one pageant over another because I'm part of the USA system. Absolutely no. This is open to all pageant system because I know in some capacity I will work with these women, whether it's in the pageant or from a sponsorship point of view, or some will just ask me out for coffee and say, hey, can we go out for coffee? Because I just want to ask you questions about life. So again, it's open to all pageant systems, all women, all people.
That's great. Great. And all ages too?
Yes.
Oh, that's wonderful. Yeah, that's really great. Well, I'm excited to go. I've been booking things now. Yeah, I can't wait to go and to meet the other women. One of my clients attended last year and had a blast, met some incredible people, learned so much. So she was telling me about it oh my gosh, this is so great. So then when I saw it coming up again this year, I was like, all right, I got to get on it this year. Yeah, so I'm really, really looking forward to being
wonderful.
there.
Well, I'm so excited to meet you.
Yes, I know, in person. Yeah, because this is just our first opportunity meeting on Skype for everybody just tuning in. That it's going to be fun to actually be in person, and we're going to get along famously. I just know it. Cool. So is there any last piece of advice, Maureen, that you have for listeners that are entering in maybe their first pageant? What advice do you have to someone who's entering their very first pageant?
Okay, the advice is most importantly is have fun. So a lot of women, especially with their first pageant, they're so nervous and they're studying so much, which is okay, but they forget to have that fun element. You need to just have fun and enjoy being around the other contestants and enjoy the experience. They're so like worried about, oh my gosh, how am I going to do with the walking sequence, or how am I going to do with the opening dance number, that they forget to enjoy the moment. So really enjoy the moment. You're going to meet some amazing friends. A lot of the contestants are my friends still. I go to their weddings or their, baby shower. It's all about, again, that relationship building factor.
Yeah. And that's tough advice to take, because when you show up for pageant week and you're thinking, okay, have fun, when those worries start rushing in, that can be a very difficult thing to do. So I tell all of my clients, you have to be ready before pageant week, like long before it. You've got to be prepared so that when you show up, you're not still fixing your spray tan, and you're not still like, oh, I better try on my dress, or, oh, I forgot, I wanted to practice putting on my eyelashes. You got to be ready, sister. Like, you got to have all of that stuff, feel prepared, have an understanding if you need to find a mentor or a coach or someone that's done the pageant before to pick their brain to figure out, what am I really up against here? Get the full scoop so that when you show up, you are prepared and informed with the right knowledge base, at least as much as you can. Then you will be able to release everything and say, okay, now all I have to do is perform. Now it is just about having fun. The preparation doesn't happen pageant week. It happens months beforehand. Okay. So
I am so glad you're touching on all of this, because I will have gals who will email me or text me the night before the pageant and say, are you okay with this evening gown? And they will actually be in the dressing room trying to find that evening gown. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, why are you waiting until the last minute? Every year we have gals who are shopping at the last minute for their evening gowns, their shoes, and they had plenty of time to do this. And when they get to registration, they're frazzled. They've slept. They haven't slept at all. And you can just tell they're just not there at all.
Yeah. That ties back to your mental and emotional readiness. Like when you don't have to make a last minute change or something, that like you said, that energy frazzle shows up, and instead you want to be confident and beautiful. Confidently beautiful.
Exactly.
Oh, cool, Maureen. Well, thank you so much for being on the show today. It's such a pleasure getting to know you. I'm really looking forward to the expo, and I'm going to put all of the links in the show notes so that people can connect with you on social media, and make sure that they go to beautybrandbelieve.com to get access to the expo, because we're going to have a blast. So much fun meeting with you and chatting with you, Maureen. Thanks again for being on the show.
And thank you so much for having me, and I can't wait to meet you next month.
Sounds great.
All right, take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Hey, what do you think of Maureen? Wasn't that awesome? She gave so much really great advice. If you got a lot out of this video, would you give it a thumbs up so that we can share that feedback with Maureen? I know that she would absolutely love it. And if you're not a subscriber yet, will you click right here to subscribe to our YouTube channel? Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you on the next Win a Pageant Wednesday.